He vanished for 7 years, but to him it felt like 15 minutes. No hunger, no pain, no passing of time. When he returned, his watch was still ticking, but the world had moved on without him. This is the story of a man who may have walked through time and the mystery that refuses to fade. In the summer of 1983, a man named David Lewis drove north through the thick pine forests of Oregon. He was a quiet figure, no known enemies, no debts. A retired electronics technician with a deep love for hiking alone in remote places. He left a note for his sister, saying he would be back in 3 days. He packed light one backpack, one analog wristwatch, and one film camera. He never came back. Search and rescue found his car parked at a remote trailhead near the Three Sisters Wilderness. The doors were locked, the keys inside, and the engine cold. They searched for 12 days. Dogs, helicopters, volunteers, but not a single trace of David Lewis could be found. Not a footprint, not a snapped branch, nothing. The forest as if it had swallowed him whole. 7 years later on a foggy morning in October, David Lewis walked into a gas station in Bend, Oregon. He looked confused. His clothes were worn but intact, and he was still wearing the same wristwatch he had the day he vanished. He asked the clerk what year it was when the man told him. David laughed nervously and said, "That can't be right. I was just walking through the trees. 15 minutes ago, they called the police." He was taken to a hospital, but doctors found nothing wrong. No head trauma, no signs of starvation, not even significant aging. His fingerprints, dental record, and old family photos confirmed his identity. It was David Lewis, but what happened to him in those 7 years remained a blank even to him. Doctors ran every test they could think of: neurological scans, psych evaluations, blood panels, but nothing explained it. This body was healthy, his memories intact up until the moment he stepped into the forest. After that, just white. He described a feeling of floating, no hunger, no cold, no sound, just a pressure-like being, deep underwater. And then suddenly, he was walking again. And there was the gas station, like no time had passed at all. His wristwatch, which had stopped when he disappeared, began ticking the moment he stepped out of the trees. As if time had paused and resumed for him alone. His sister, older and shaken, barely recognized him. He looked to her like he had only aged a year, maybe 2, not 7. There were other oddities. The camera he had taken with him still had film inside, but when developed, the photos were overexposed, smeared as if the emulsion had been scrambled by radiation or magnetism. His backpack untouched, but the plastic zipper was brittle and cracked as if it had aged faster than everything else. His boots were worn unevenly, like one foot had spent years dragging through something thick while the other remained untouched. When asked to retrace his steps, he said he could not remember the trail, only the trees, and the humor sound that had no direction, no source, but filled the air like a low-frequency vibration. He said, "It felt like walking through an idea, not a place." The story made local news. Then national journalists called him the man who slipped through time. Some believed it was a hoax. There's a miracle. But no one could explain how he vanished without a trace, only to reappear untouched by time. Ufologists speculated about a dimensional rift, a natural tear in space-time that occasionally opens in remote places. Others compared it to the missing time reported by UFO abductees. Some even claimed that David Lewis matched descriptions of other mysterious disappearances across the country. One fringe scientist, a physicist named Dr. Samuel Resnick, claimed the area near where Lewis vanished aligned with what he called a gravity fault, a place where the Earth's magnetic field bends and time flows differently. But he had no evidence, just a theory and a map filled with red circles and old newspaper clippings. For a few months, David did interviews, spoke on radio shows, even appeared once on late-night TV, but over time he withdrew. He refused to talk about the experiences, stopped answering letters, moved to a cabin in northern Idaho, and vanished from public life. A second disappearance, this time by choice. Some say he was silenced, others say he simply could not live in the world anymore. That whatever he had experienced had changed him, cut him off from normal time, from normal thought. One rumor claims he tried to return to the same trailhead years later and was never seen again, but that story, like his first disappearance, has never been confirmed. So what really happened to David Lewis? Did he fall into a hidden cave, suffer amnesia, get abducted by someone or something? Or did he really step outside of time, into a space where clocks do not tick, where minutes do not pass, a rift in reality, so subtle you would never know you were in it until you came back out? If it was a hoax, it was a perfect one. But his family never believed that, nor did the rescue team who searched the forest for 12 days and never found a single trace. Something happened to David Lewis. Something we still do not understand. What do you believe really happened in that forest? Was it a glitch, an encounter, or something older than science itself? The trees still stand, the trail still waits, but not everyone who walks it comes back the same. New mysteries are revealed every week. This is the Midnight Channel, where the strange never sleeps.